How is it going today, Loyalists? My name is Dwayne.
My name's
With
Jazz.
Dwayne and Jazz, today we have 10 theories about Nickelodeon shows that will ruin your childhood. Oh boy. Jasmine loves SpongeBob, so we already saw SpongeBob in the thumbnail.
I watch cartoons
It's time.
24/7.
Childhood destroyed. If you
I
have
don't
any
care, I'm
rational
an adult
requests,
now.
please follow us on all our social medias in the link description below. And don't forget to
Subscribe.
that one in.
I watch cartoons probably. That's the only
The
thing I
staple
watch.
of many childhoods
Yeah.
was Nickelodeon. The classic shows, great
And cartoon- no,
game shows
Cartoon
for
Network,
hours
yeah.
and hours
Disney
of
as well.
television. Through the years, shows have come and gone. But as fans look back on their favorites, some pretty shocking theories have boiled to the surface. See what characters actually died, who crossed over onto other shows, and what shocking revelations may come from your favorite
Jimmy
Nicktoons.
Power Hour.
Oh, that
Before
was
you watch,
so lit.
subscribe. You'll join the
So
notification
lit.
squad and
It
be
was
first
too.
to know of new
Maybe
content.
it might be
Also, can you guess
too
which
lit.
movie is represented by these emoji?
What is
Stay
that?
tuned at the end to find
Boy
out.
is school.
Boy and a girl.
Timmy Turner is Danny Phantom. Growing up,
Well, we
with
heard that theory
godparents has
already.
given Timmy
Yeah.
Turner some
We
great
did,
perks.
because they're made by the
Followed his
same
adventures
people.
through
Yep.
10 seasons of the hit Nicktoon Fairly Odd Parents, and even saw the addition of a third godparent by the name of Poof. Timmy can wish for anything he wants and gets to go on all sorts of adventures. Of course, Timmy's fun only lasts to the age of 13. That's when the godparents have to move on from their assignment. This left lots of fans wondering
remember
about
that
the future of Timmy, but the answer is clear according to a widespread theory. Upon turning 13, Timmy wishes to become a ghost-fighting superhero, and his whole world is transformed into Danny Phantom. That's right, a popular theory states that Danny Phantom and Timmy Turner are actually the same person. The characters have very
They kinda
similar
have, like, the
looks
same
and
hair.
the same color
Yeah.
eyes. Supporting evidence can also be found through the show's supporting characters. Chester looks like a younger
looks
version
like
of
that.
Dash. AJ is a younger version of Tucker, and Trixie is a younger version of Paulina. The characters not only look alike, but they also have
And then
similar
Trixie.
personality traits.
They said Trixie
Considering
could have
that
been the
both
Bond
shows were
girl.
created by Butch Hartman, the connection makes more sense and is only even stronger.
Hey, SpongeBob,
Yes, Patrick?
do you know how to swim?
No.
SpongeBob is Reborn. For a show that's been
Reborn?
on for nearly 20 years and counting, SpongeBob SquarePants has gone through
It better
several
not ever
changes
go
over
off.
this time. One of the biggest differences between the personality and the way SpongeBob acts can be seen at the start of Season 5. In this season, SpongeBob appears much more childish. He's not as intelligent as he once was, and he does a
True.
lot more immature things
True.
with his friends like Patrick. The drastic
Yep.
change in character
Yep.
points to one theory stating that SpongeBob was actually reborn after dying, and that his
So when did
newborn
he
younger
die?
self doesn't have the same maturity as his previous incarnation did. Wondering when SpongeBob died and was reborn? It's all on
The
film for
movie.
you. In the first
they
SpongeBob
did die.
SquarePants feature-length
I don't
film,
think you saw the
SpongeBob
movie.
and Patrick are captured
Yeah,
and brought
they
to a
died
souvenir
from,
shop.
like,
They're put under a
being in the
heated
real
lamp at
world.
a table and dry out.
And they got
The
dried
movie
out
shows
there
a
to
deer
become, like,
bring them back to
antique.
life. But real-life
Wow.
SpongeBob
Not
are
antique, like
actually
souvenirs.
asexual and can reproduce on their own. SpongeBob didn't come back to life. He was merely reborn again. The younger and
was.
immature SpongeBob
The
also
Sprinklers
explains
brought them
why
back
he
to life.
didn't remain the manager of the Krusty Krab as seen at the end of the movie.
All I wanted was revenge.
The Fake Pete.
I
One
don't
of the
know
more
this.
quirky
Don't know
and
this,
bizarre
never
shows
seen
to ever
this.
appear on Nickelodeon was The Adventures of Pete and Pete. The two brothers lived a strange life filled with superheroes, ice cream men, and some pretty crazy
I've never
scenarios
seen
involving
this show,
friends and family.
ever.
Things may just seem a little weirder when you consider a fan theory stating the younger Pete was actually a fictional manifestation of the older Pete. Basically, it says that Pete had schizophrenia, and he envisioned the younger Pete as a way to capture years of youthful adventures he missed out on. Pete would also manifest other characters on the show, like the strong man named Artie. The theory
This is
has
a
some
weird
evidence in the
show.
form of the way the characters act around Pete. Also for the simple fact that his parents would name both children by the same name. The mom on the show also has a metal plate on her head, which could have been the result of a condition passed down to the older Pete. Does the whole theory sound
What?
familiar? It basically plays out like a child's version of Fight Club,
Oh,
where
Fight
Tyler
Club,
Durden
bro.
isn't a real character but still has the ability to interact and
haven't
communicate
seen
with the
that movie.
narrator of the story.
I wanted to.
Fight Club?
I've never seen it.
Alright, that's one
Crazy
tonight.
Steve
Tonight.
kidnapped
Find it,
Carly.
yeah.
Producer and writer Dan Schneider has spent years developing shows for
Dan
Nickelodeon. He's
Schneider,
had
I'm in a
several
50th grade.
hits
Right.
with Drake and Josh transitioning to iCarly, and then eventually forming into crossover hits like Victorious and Sam and Cat. There's one thing connecting the universe of all these shows, and that's a character known as Crazy Steve.
Yes,
Played by
Steve
Jerry
I like
Trainer,
Steve.
Crazy Steve made his debut in Drake and Josh as one of the movie theater employees. Once iCarly premiered, the actor Jerry Trainer played Carly's older brother Spencer, but fans quickly strung a theory together, making you question whether Spencer is really Carly's brother at all. The theory states that Crazy Steve eventually killed Drake and Josh while kidnapping their younger sibling Megan. Through manipulation and brainwashing, Crazy Steve moved Megan to Seattle, forced her to change her name to Carly, and the rest is history. The theory seemed a little far-fetched at
Yes,
first.
it sounds
That
very
is until a
far-fetched.
random episode of Sam and Cat showed Crazy Steve in an insane asylum. This helped make the final connection, and revealed Crazy Steve was finally caught after Carly got away on the series finale of iCarly. If Sam and Cat had continued to produce more episodes, we may have gotten more answers about the true story of Crazy Steve.
Wow.
That's a very crazy theory.
That
Drake
get
and Josh, the reality show. Every episode of Drake and Josh pretty much began the
Whatever
same way.
happened to
Drake
Drake?
and Josh would talk to the camera, showcase their point of view,
You see
Josh
Josh
was-
for the
everywhere.
whole
Yeah.
episode. While
But not
it appears
Drake.
to have been done as a creative choice, later clues from down the line may reveal that Drake and Josh was actually a show within a show. The reality show followed the characters' lives as they dealt with their teenage years and their mixed family life. Some of the biggest clues to the reality show theory actually come from other Nick shows. On Victorious, multiple characters have referred to watching the show, and on iCarly,
Really?
clips of the show have been shown.
How come that little girl's so good at pranks?
One of the biggest clues comes from a character played by Yvette Nicole Brown. On Drake and Josh, Brown played the movie theater manager named Helen Dubois. On Victorious, the same character comes to take over
teacher.
as principal of Hollywood Arts High School. If the characters on Victorious watch Drake and Josh and the same character shows
that
up
Donald
at their
Trump?
school, then this is pretty
No,
much a
Jasmine.
confirmation
Is
that
it-
Drake
is it
and
not?
Josh was a
Okay, it
reality
looks
show
good.
set in connected universes.
God.
No,
Oh, Blue's
please.
Clues. Oh, I miss him.
Steve's drug problem. Poor Blue's Clues.
'Cause
The
they
preschool
replaced
show we
him.
watched way beyond our preschool years has been
Yes.
under the microscope of rumors and theories for years. Some of the craziest rumors came when Steve left the show and was replaced by Joe. But people still can't coming up with theories about the adventures
Yeah,
a
we want
grown
that.
man has with his puppy Blue. As rumors of Steve's death in real life were proven to be false, other rumors sparked up about the character and the stories he comes up with. One of the more popular theories involves Steve taking drugs. The character's use of heavy and hard drugs has created the whole alternate reality where Blue and
Where
everything in
he's
his
like-
house comes
so
to
it's
life.
like a big
How else would you explain
hallucination.
talking salt and pepper shakers who had a child together named Paprika? Things seem even more drug-induced when Steve starts jumping into paintings and going on all sorts of
Yeah,
adventures
going on
right inside
adventures.
his own home. These moments can all be seen as drug hallucinations.
Remember there was
For
like a
all we
girl,
know,
Blue?
Steve is just
She
lounging
was
in
like
his big
pink or
chair,
something.
Yeah.
letting his mind
Yeah.
run wild. You can only imagine the drugs and lifestyle the character got into when he left the house to Joe and headed off to college.
That show was so lit to me. I'm sorry.
it was.
Just dessert!
Timmy Turner's Antidepressants. The Fairly Odd Parents had 10 seasons of happiness and adventures, but it didn't always start out this way. Timmy Turner was not a happy child at the beginning.
Yeah, 'cause of
He had
Vicky.
troubles at school, was often
parents
neglected
ignored
by
him.
his parents, and he was forced to
He
deal with
looked
Vicky,
dusty.
his horrible
He was
babysitter.
big.
According to a theory,
I mean,
all of
come
these
on.
factors led to depression. To help with his depression, Timmy didn't get the help of fairy godparents, but rather was prescribed antidepressants he manifested into his alternate view of godparents. Each godparent Timmy has could be broken down into different antidepressant medications. The antidepressant Prozac is represented by Wanda. Prozac is known for allowing a person to be calm and focused, much like Wanda is in the series.
All the time.
Cosmo represents the antidepressant medication known as Zoloft. This works to make you more giddy and excited rather than depressed, and represents exactly how Cosmo
So what
acts
about
in the
poop?
series. The pills are taken in Timmy's room, which just happens to be the place where the fairies appear. Anytime the fairies run out of magic or disappear, it's essentially the pills wearing
Running
off,
out.
and Timmy's
And he has to
depression
get a new
is starting
dose.
to take hold again. Come to think of it, we're getting a little depressed just thinking about this theory.
I love Jimmy.
Jimmy Neutron's government conspiracy.
Oh, snap.
Jimmy Neutron is a boy genius who entertained Nick fans for over a
That
decade.
movie was
Looking
so
back
great.
on the series, there were
You
some
watched
odd
that,
things
right?
involving the
Okay.
characters and the town of Retroville. A widespread theory about the show puts everything into a perspective easy to explain. Jimmy
That
and the other
scene,
children were
everything.
genetically modified government experiments used to help with military research and inventions. Basically, Jimmy's whole life is a big lie. The town of Retroville is a front, with paid actors used to play citizens. This is one of the reasons no one bats an eye when Jimmy flies around in a rocket or has some sort of crazy weapon.
That's
This is
like the
also a
Truman
reason
Show.
why a number of Jimmy's inventions
Remember
just
that
happen
movie I
to
was showing
disappear.
you?
Once invented, the government takes them for their own research development. The theory is
Oh.
proven even further with the show's presence of Area 86. The secret government facilities exist in Retroville and are obviously the headquarters where Jimmy and all of his friends are tracked and researched. Jimmy's work and inventions have been influenced by several seemingly random events in the town. But maybe those were purposely created to get the new inventions the
Make him
government
make
needed.
new stuff. Oh, what is that? I don't
Afraid
like
of the
that.
dark, scariest ghosts. One of Nickelodeon's
I don't
greatest
like
shows
that.
will always be Are You Afraid of
You
the
seen
Dark?
this?
No.
The
Oh,
anthology
I've seen
series
it.
followed a
I think my
group of
principal
friends
is- I'm gonna
in
see
the
this. I don't
Midnight
look-
Society as they took
No.
turns telling scary stories around a campfire. Aliens, clowns, and witches were just a few of the tales keeping kids up late at night in the
No.
90s
I don't
and early
think no.
2000s.
No.
The show touched on many different subjects, but one of the scariest aspects may have been the Midnight Society themselves. A theory speculates that the Midnight Society was actually made up of the ghosts of teens who died young. Breaking down the various events can help shed light on this eerie theory. The characters only showed up at night. They were never seen in their everyday life. And they all seem to come from different directions in the woods. Their parents never cared how late
then
they
no.
stayed out, and none of them really touched on lives outside of their ghost story group. When a new member joined the group, they represented another tragic death of a teen. When a member left the group, they crossed over to the other side as the Midnight Society represented a state of limbo until the teen ghosts could confront their darkest fears and sins.
That's
Now
depressing.
reliving the series just got a little scarier.
Yeah.
Definitely something else.
I felt like I was kissing my sister.
Never mind. Complete friend zone.
Clarissa explains it all to her children.
What
Before
kind of show
Melissa
is
Joan
this?
Hart wooed audiences with
I
her
felt like I was
witchy
kissing
magic
my
on Sabrina
sister.
the Teenage Witch, she was making fans with her likable character and family life on Clarissa Explains It All. The show lasted for 5 seasons on Nick, and the final episode left us with a fantasy glimpse at the future, but we never
Did you
knew
watch
some of the
this?
future would become a reality. In one
Remember
of the
her
more
Teenage
legitimate
Witch,
theories
Sabrina.
found from Nick shows, the 90s series may have a connection to the 2004 series
Ned's
titled Ned's
Declassified.
Declassified School Survival Guide.
That
On the
was
show,
my
we never
jump.
introduced to Ned's
Everybody's saying
parents,
Kodak
but
looked
we
like
do
this
learn that
dude.
Ned's second son is Darling, the same as Clarissa. This could easily be brushed off as a random coincidence, but a further clue about Ned's father adds more to the connection. In another episode,
show
Ned
is just
refers to his
highly
father as Sam,
enjoyable.
the
Very
name of
good.
Clarissa's neighbor and love interest from the series. This means that Ned could be the love child of Clarissa and Sam. But it's pretty clear that Sam isn't stepping up to be the father he should be. Maybe he's too busy visiting other houses and climbing up windows with his trusty ladder. Of course, the connection may seem legit if you ignore the release of the official Clarissa novel where she's childless. And there you have it. What theory do you believe the most? Are there any
Well, probably SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
Maybe
for sure.
SpongeBob, the
'Cause you just-
SpongeBob one.
You had a little.
I was like, he
light
did
bulb
die.
went off. You was
'Cause
like-
he did. It was like you saw it like in the movie theater. That's where I saw it. In the movie theaters, and you just saw him just die, and then everybody was all sad, and then like the little heart tear, it came together to a little electrical wire, and the electrical wire made it all go crazy, and then that's when all the sprinklers went down, and then he came back to life.
Wow. Anyway,
That's what I'm
guys.
saying. But
That was
I
good.
watched too many cartoons.
Yeah,
I
as
watched-
you can see.
too many times too.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, cartoons are just so enjoyable.
Exactly. And then,
Like
yeah.
the stuff on TV today is trash. I'd rather just turn on the TV and just watch SpongeBob. And if
Yeah.
that's not on, then I'll turn it to like cartoons.
I want them to reboot Danny Phantom
Yes.
so bad, especially when they had the ultimate enemy. That
They
jump
needed
was
to.
my favorite.
Yes.
His self from the future. Oh, he was lit. And then at the end of it, they left us on a cliffhanger because he was escaping the little ghost thermos.
Oh my god.
Bruh, that was
they
my-
need to continue that, or they might.
They have to.
I feel like if they do, they're gonna make
split
it look
the time.
different.
But
I feel like.
the creator was like, he's gonna put them in the future, like some years. But I need at least a movie. Can I get the Ultimate Enemy 2?
Yeah.
Cause that joint was too lit. Cause how they gonna tease us with the dude not disappearing because they changed the timeline.
Right.
So he didn't disappear, but he got stuck in the ghost thermos. I got to know what happens. I have to know.
That should continue.
Cause he was stuck in the time clock with the time ghost.
Right.
So he could have just knocked the time ghost out, go back to time, Danny's timeline. I don't know.
I think
that
Jimmy
was
Neutron
lit.
could have continued.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron definitely.
Because everybody's
because they
still
did that
existing.
spinoff with Sheen, Planet Sheen, with that joint.
Planet Sheen.
I love Sheen.
Flop.
Yeah,
but we need him in the show. Like we
Yeah.
don't need him on his own show, then having to knock off Carl as like a alien or something like that. Like just
Come
give
on.
us another.
That's the same thing they did with
season.
remember Toonami?
Yeah.
When they rebooted it, right? And they had it good, and then they rebooted it, and then he had a face and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and he was on a planet.
I was like, I don't like.
I'm like,
that.
I like when he was in space.
Yeah.
Searching the area. Why would he
But
be at a
the
planet?
thing is, These like networks be like trying to make something.
If
Oh,
it
we
ain't
need something
fixed.
new.
If
We
it
need
ain't
something
right.
fresh. Like no,
If it
we like
ain't
that
fixed.
old. We like that old stuff,
Right.
and we want that old stuff. Just
But
give us the
just
old
we're gonna
stuff.
tweak it a little bit. No.
No, don't tweak nothing.
If it's good,
Leave
it's
it
good.
alone.
Don't leave it. If it's not, you know what? Anyway, guys, please comment below. Tell us what you think.
Don't forget to like
Subscribe.
and
It's just
share.
more.
Deuces.